Alright, I want to do a quick video today explaining a few things. I've got some questions on this. Any of you that have been around for a while on this channel know that for the last 3 or 4 years I have been making and selling kydex sheaths for axes and tomahawks. Now, what started out as a small fun hobby quickly grew into a pretty substantial side business. Unfortunately, I'm at the point where I either need to take this to the next level, expand into a bigger shop, or not. So expanding into a bigger shop is not an option for me right now. And I've got some other things going on in my life that are kind of requiring me to shed some weight. And unfortunately, that means kind of getting rid of what I've built up for the last 3 or 4 years, because I don't necessarily want to do this for the rest of my life. It's not exactly what I intended it to be. It's been a lot of fun. It was fun learning how to do it and all that, but I need the room and space back in my little garage here for the time being, and so yeah, that's where I'm at. I think I'm going to sell off everything that I've got, and I'd like to sell it as a package deal if somebody's interested. I basically have about 90% of a working kydex shop. I have, let's see, we've got a lot here. I'll just give a quick deal. I have 2 of these big presses that I built. That's a t-shirt press for heating up the kydex. I've got a 2-element toaster oven with a circulating fan. Also, underneath here, I've got a stainless steel vacuum forming plate. I've got a vacuum pump. I don't do a ton of vacuum forming, but I can do it. We've got down here, I've got easily $1,000 worth of kydex, different camo patterns, some different textures. I've got some vacuum forms for a couple of holsters and some trim jigs for using on a router. I've got a router and a router table. We have I've got tons of different stuff. I've got different forming molds, jigs, paddles, all kinds of fasteners. I mean, just a bunch of stuff. Different fixtures for forming curved pancake holsters and stuff. I've got, let's see, quite a few boxes. This is all fasteners and eyelets, rivets. I've got these foam plates. This is what I use for making the sheaths. And this foam's quite expensive. I've got 1.5 inch, 1 inch, and I've got some spare of that. This is a very high silicone base, I think, and it is very high temperature. It lasts really well. It's not the cheap Harbor Freight stuff that, you know, if you're doing onesies or twosies, that's fine, but can do quite a few pressings with that before it fails because of the temperature. Anyways, and along here, I've got a ton of equipment that I've got now. This isn't super high-end stuff, but I just had to kind of buy it as I grew. We've got a drill press. We've got a mini milling machine for cutting out the lock slots and belt loops and things like that. Bandsaw for trimming. A couple of sanders, a couple of buffers. Got a little jigsaw thing. We've got eyelet press with the dies for doing 1/4 inch, and I've also got dies for doing 3/16 eyelets, and lots more. So if you're in, I don't know, central Idaho or eastern Washington, and you'd be interested in this as a whole package, hit me up. I'm not shipping any of this stuff. I'm not dealing with any of that kind of stuff. Just as soon, I mean, it just costs too much. It wouldn't be worth it to ship all of this. That kydex alone probably weighs over 100 pounds, all that together, or real close to it. So, yeah, I've got some book presses, what they call a coffee bum press. I've got 2 of those, a large and a small. I've got, there's quite a bit of other stuff, and depending on the interest level, I have tons of different 550 cord for putting on attachments and, you know, toggles and tassels and things like that for customizing stuff. And some of these hand tools will go that are specific to doing the kydex, but a lot of this is just, you know, the decorations. That's, you know, it's my workshop too that I do other stuff in. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's time to part ways with this. It grew into something that I didn't expect it to, but it's time for me to move on. I've got other things that I do. I love camping and being outdoors. I have a big interest in motorcycles, and I have no place to work on my bikes and my camping gear and do other projects. I like to weld and do metal work and stuff like that. And this is kind of taking up what space I have at the moment. So anyways, all right. That's where I'm at. I'd received some questions in the past, recently, where the videos went that was talking about this, how I was selling them and making them and things like that, and if I still had stuff available. So this is answering those questions. All right, there's an email in the About page or whatever, in the page on my YouTube channel. I monitor that pretty frequently, so if you have questions and you're serious about that, go ahead and send me out an email and I'll try and get back to you. Alright, until the next one, and I do have some stuff on the docket. It's not going to be crawling in the bushes and sleeping overnight. I mean, I want to do some fun stuff. I'm not going to try and chase the algorithm. I've said that before. I know a lot of people subscribed based on one video that I made. That was a side project. It was something I did to learn something new, and I documented that process, and it was fun. But I don't want to. I'm not going to run that into the ground, so to speak. And I'd rather focus on the things that I enjoy doing. So I've got some stuff that I think will be pretty fun lined up, but the algorithm, all-knowing algorithm, will have to deal with that accordingly. I know I'm getting less than 1% return on my videos I've been putting out because they're not emergency survival stuff, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Anyways, I'm rambling. See you in the next one.